Going on, everyone? Yes, today is a new toy review. I'm so sorry I haven't been posting nothing up. I actually been on vacation. I was in Detroit visiting family, and I also was picking up a shit ton of toys that I've ordered and probably was driving my parents crazy at home because they had all that shit in their house. So thank you for being storage. But I actually brought everything with me back on the plane, well, most of it. I still have a few things coming in, so I will be posting up new reviews and sharing you the stuff I got. So first and foremost, before I even get started, I want to say thank you to all the people that's viewing my stuff, from viewing my toys or viewing the art. Thank you very much, and all to the new subscribers that I've received, either through Instagram or just in general. Thank you for subbing. I truly appreciate it. And let's jump right into it. So, what you see in front of you right now is Unit 1 from Evangelion, or Evangelion, however you want to pronounce it. Now, this is the Robot Spirits version, okay? Today we're going to be reviewing Medicom's version. And one word, amazing. Second word is huge. It is huge. So, let me go ahead and show you. This figure right here is about, let me do a quick measurement real quick. This figure sits around 6 inches. Now you can say 7 if you like, because of the horn on his head. It gives him a slight boost. Okay. Now let's go ahead and supersize him. And we're going to go ahead and put the Shogoken version of Unit 1 that came out a few years ago. I'm going to zoom back a bit. Alright. And the difference between these figures, the very first one was full plastic. And the Shogoken version had die-cast metal in it. Now, the one that has die-cast metal, the Shogoken version, actually was kind of that first run, along with a few other ones. This small one came out a little bit more, came out definitely more recent, but it pretty much knocked that one out of the park when it came to posability. Okay, it was like, I can honestly say hands down, probably one of the best figures I've ever seen that has the capability of posing damn near like a human to a T. Like, I don't care, like even with my 3A figures, they don't come close to the way you can pose this figure. And I'm just being brutally honest. Like, this small toy definitely knocks a lot of toys out of the box when it comes to posing. But beyond that, we're going to go ahead, let's not wait to show you this huge Medicom figure, okay? This is the Medicom version of Unit 1. Now, clearly, he can R. Kelly both of these toys because they are extremely small. And if you didn't catch that last line, it wasn't meant for you to catch it. But all I'm saying is that this toy towers like a whole lot. Now, you're probably wondering, like, okay, man, that toy clearly is a 1/6 scale and is going to be taller than the other figures. Yeah, I felt that. I ordered this at shoot. Hell yeah, I wanted a Unit 1 1/6 scale figure. And I bought them. And then I get this thing that looks like a damn microwave box in the mail. And I'm like, why the fuck is this box so huge? Well, let me show you. I'm going to grab another 1/6 scale figure. Here's Light. Do you see the height difference? Light is probably about, we're going to say 11.5, because a lot of these figures is not really 12 inches. They just state that, like I said before in some of my other videos. I measured the Evangelion, or Evangelion Unit 1. He stands about 15 inches. He's fucking huge. Alright? So, now if you want to compare him to a PlayArts Kai figure, then he stands that much over a PlayArts Kai figure, which I will be reviewing Frank Miller Batman hands down either today or first thing tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and move them out of the way real quick, and I'm going to start showing you stuff. Now, I would like to say, what Medicom did, which was extremely smart, they didn't do like some companies where they want to just design a brand new toy and they end up fucking the whole design up, or they do stuff that just clearly doesn't make any sense, and you be like, dude, you had all this material to work with. Why would you bypass everything else and try to make your own thing, and then you botch the entire situation? They actually took the very, very small Evangelion right here and capitalized on them. Pretty much, just think of that figure at a bigger scale and different materials. So they actually used a lot of robot spirits design along with these things, I think it's called HG or high grade figures from the Evangelion figure line. So this figure actually has some of those materials, like it actually has rubber sleeves around the arms to give it that seamless look instead of actually seeing a joint. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down further as what you receive. Now, before I get into articulation, because it's a whole lot, so this review might be kind of long, but it's definitely well worth it. So, what you get with Unit 1, alright, you're going to receive, let me get a box just so I can focus better, sorry. Bear with me, people, bear with me. Alright, so what you receive with Unit 1 is you're going to get a entry plug, alright, that's actually has some very nice detail on it. Let me go ahead and hopefully you focus. This thing act ridiculous sometime, y'all. Sorry. But you get an entry plug. And then you get a half entry plug. Now these entry plugs that you receive, to be realistic with you, I don't really see the purpose why they give you so many. I know why they did it, but it's kind of like overkill. But what it is this is a halfway out, almost looking like they're ejecting the character out, and the big one that you've seen is like him fully ejected out, and then they have one that goes into the back of the neck that sits directly in it, which I will also show you. Moving on from that, you receive a right hand that holds the progressive knife, which clearly you get the progressive knife. Now this is one thing that I really think Medicom need to stop doing. Medicom, if you're listening, it's the only thing that y'all really do need to change. Certain figures, I understand you making a very nice mold of how the hand is holding the weapon, but some hands are way too tight, which I'm about to show you right now. Remember I had that issue way back, if y'all ever seen my Gantz review, where I broke the thumb because they sealed the hand for you to slide the sword in, and the sword the handle was way too wide, and it tore it up, so they had to send me another one. So to give you an idea on that, they actually give you a gun hand, right, to hold the pallet rifle. Now you see how close these fingers are to the thumb. Like, it's damn near completely shut. All I want to know is, let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. How in the fuck do I suppose to get that hand onto this without tearing something up? And I know I can go ahead and put the hand in water, and that way I can pull the fingers back, but dude, I shouldn't have to go through that all the time. Seriously, I'm not even being a dick. I'm just being honest. Like, for someone that don't know those tricks, which I didn't know them tricks before, and I'm just now learning that you can do things like that, like heat up the plastic to make it kind of mold to what you want. A lot of people don't know them tricks. So they're taking the chances of tearing up their figure that they just paid good money for, trying to put something that's definitely not designed well on that part. But that's the only complaint I have. But other than that, everything else is amazing. So moving on. So you also get two of these hands, kind of like the whole wide hand, the open palm. Has a nice little pose to it. And these hands are really, really detailed. So you get that. Alright, so you get two of those. You also going to receive a left hand that you can either have this to relax hold the pallet rifle, or you can actually put it directly up under the barrel of the pallet rifle while he's holding it, kind of like that whole army look. So you either do that. He gets 2 bare fists, all right and left, which is also nicely done. And like I said, Medicom do nail the molds. Like the molds of these hands are just amazing. They're extremely good. And then he get the whole karate chop hands, all right, which I never understood the purpose of these, but whatever. But you do get those, okay? So that's all the accessories that you receive. Now, you do receive 2 more accessories. Now, the reason why I didn't say that from the get-go is 2 reasons. If you got this Unit 1 figure, if you got it when it first was released, you get some special bonus parts. Now, this is where the Robot Spirits figure comes into play, and why this figure plays such a big role with this huge figure. When I say Medicom literally just took all the great ideas that this smaller figure created and just blew it up. So if you happen to get this toy first run, you're actually going to receive a transparent AT field. Right? Now this is the AT field that goes to my Robot Spirits figure, which you kind of see is pretty huge to the small figure, and it's meant to be that way because he's supposed to be ripping through his AT field, and anybody that knows the anime knows exactly what scene I'm talking about. Well, if you actually get that figure in a timely fashion, you get a huge fucking AT field that goes to the Medicom version. So just think how big that AT field is to that little small figure, and just think about that being the size of that. So that's why the box looked like a damn oven. And that's why the box got left in Detroit. So I got to actually get that shipped to me, like I said before. So you actually receive that, and you're going to receive one more other item that the small one comes with, which I didn't bring with me. I just left in the box because I didn't want nothing to happen. You're actually going to receive an entry plug. All right? Entry plugs look like this. So this is the Shogoken entry plug. All right? The Medicom entry plug is a whole lot like this version entry plug, because this one is rubber tubing. It doesn't have any wire in it. It's just a rubber tube, and it just has plastic, and it just snaps to the bottom of that. All right? So you get that with the limited run. All right? So, which is definitely 2 great accessories that this toy comes with. Now, moving over to posability. And like I said before, this toy actually has everything that the baby version has. So what I'm going to do first, before we get into articulation, I'm going to go ahead and show you the detail and a close-up real quick for you. Now, like I said, Medicom nails it. Paint job is immaculate. They did an awesome job, and I'm truly happy to have this in part of my collection. Like, I wanted this thing so bad, and like what actually took me so long to put it up was not that it was in Detroit, because I was there clearly. It was actually they pushed it back from late January to late February or early February, and it came in the mail. So I was just stoked. I've been waiting on this thing for the longest. Now, you're probably wondering, like, hey, how heavy is this damn figure? And to be honest with you, whoever did the design for that, which is completely his own original, I would say, or maybe I just haven't came across another Evangelion figure that's designed like that, is that he's extremely light. Like, his armor is clearly not attached to the black suit. It kind of just sits around it. Some parts is clearly attached. Some parts is just sewn right into it or glued right onto it. but it's extremely light. Like, for it to be big as it is, I was expecting for it to be heavy, like really, really heavy, and it's not. It's actually pretty well done, to the point where it doesn't feel like you carrying weights in your arm or in your hand or whatever the case may be. This is the back view. And I know this review going on pretty long, but I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a huge toy, so yeah, it ain't too much rushing through this. So please forgive me if this video go longer than what you probably expect. Alright? But I will try to make sure I hit every single detail and what makes the thing great, so it just won't be seem like I'm just telling you complete utter nonsense. Alright? So getting into the posing part, the figure actually has the exact same joint as the baby one. Like I said, it's a twin. Now, the head sits on a hinge that allows the head to look that far down and about that far up. Now, the small one can look directly up. Reason being is because it actually has a ball joint in the neck. This one doesn't have it. It's actually a rubber coating around the neck, which is really nice just to keep a flush look. But what the Medicom company did that actually did better than the Shigoken and the Robot Spirits, they designed a jaw piece. Immaculate. So the jaw piece on the Robot Spirits, you have to change the head. So you gotta take the whole fucking head off to make the mouth be open. And then on the Shigoken version, it's nicely done, but I actually had an issue where the bottom of the jaw on the Shigoken, it actually can peg out and his jaw can fall off if you keep messing around with it too much, or if you just happen to get a faulty one. So what Medicom did, they made a pull down. So you actually pull the jaw down and it opens like that, which I think was so smart. Like, it's flush, it's nice. I don't have to change into a whole nother head. I don't have to worry about it breaking down on me. It's just made well done. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom up so you can see a little bit better. Now, what's nice about this too, they put the whole, you can see the teeth and the tongue, kind of like how it is in the anime, where in the Robot Spirits, well, granted, it is a smaller figure, so I can understand why the Robot Spirits couldn't get the exact type of mouth detail. This one definitely gives you that, which I really, really like a whole lot. So you get that, all right, out of the head functionality. Now, one thing that Robot Spirits did that I wish the Medicom version did, they let you remove the horn, which I think that was really smart, and they gave you extra ones because the horn is hard plastic, or kind of like semi-hard plastic. That thing can definitely break. So you do not want that figure to fall, because if it falls, you can go ahead and call it quits. That piece is going to break on his head. Guaranteed. It's very flimsy. So Medicom, that you could have possibly changed. But moving on from that, let's go down to the shoulder pads. Now the shoulder pads is what you see is sewn onto the figure. Alright. Now, this is where Medicom also just went ahead and copied and pasted, which I think is an extremely smart design coming from Robot Spirits. It's ball joints that actually sit into the shoulders. You can kind of see the peg. Let me see if I can hit the light, can hit it. But you can kind of see that black line, there you go, that just pegs right into it. So it gives more free range when you move in the arms. Nothing is getting hindered or in the way, which is extremely smart. So I'll also show you real quick. See, now granted, the Robot Spirits one has a little bit more movement to it, but like I said, hands down, probably one of the smarter designs. Now, going to the entry plug, go ahead and turn this around real quick. This is dope. It actually comes up in the back first, And then when you open it in the back, you lift the little hatch. And when you lift the little hatch, which was also that accessory that I was speaking about, you get an entry plug that just fits directly in it. And it can pull out. You don't have to worry about getting no tweezers. It's not so snug to the point you got to fight with it to come out. I can literally just tip him upside down and this will come out. And what they also did was when you lift the hatch, when you lift the actual hatch to the figure, you see how the entry plug lifts up as well? So that way you don't have to fight with it. And then when you're ready to put the hatch down, you actually have to push down on the back part, not the top part. You just want to make sure the top part lines up. And when you push it down, it falls into place. Because if you actually try to push the top part, the highest part of the entry, which is that, down, it won't go down because this keeps the peg up. All right, so go ahead, moving from that, that's the hole in the back that you see there, which your umbilical cable goes into. All right, and that just fits in real snug and fit. Now, as for the arms, which was also done extremely well, they took the ideas from the high grade versions of the Evangelion toys or Evangelion toys, where it's rubber coating around it, so it gives a flush look. You don't have to see no pegs whatsoever. But they also kept the Robot Spirits idea where you can rotate the arms from the armor. So the armor kind of like cups around the actual body itself, which allows you to twist at the, not at the bicep, I'll say above the bicep, twist the arms, rotation form, so you can get some better poses out of it. All right, and then he has double joints in the elbows, and it gets all the way up there. Okay, I could force it, but I'm not, just because it's a rubber tubing. But his hand can go all the way up. It's definitely shown that it can be done, and it more than likely can be done. I just don't want to do it clearly. Which, if I had to show you right next to it, this is the only thing that allows something that has joints do a little bit more sometimes, is that you get in that much range over that much range. All right, so that's the benefit of joints versus rubber tubing, but it's not a huge letdown. All right, now just to let you know too, since I haven't announced it, make sure if you get something that has rubber tubing over the arm, do not bend it a lot. That's why you don't really see me doing too much bending on this, is because you can actually make the rubber crack, and that's what you don't want to do. And you definitely don't want to do it with this figure, because clearly you're not going to go around looking for a rubber tube arm that fits the Evangelion figure. And beyond all that, like most Medicom figures, something break, you can go get a part and just repair it yourself. In this case, something break on this figure, because he's so huge and there's no body type that fits his type, you're just screwed. He's just like the Gantz figure. So you do not want to damage this toy at all. All right? So just keep that part in mind. But moving on to the hands, what they did pretty nice. They put like slits right where the rubber is at. Bring it up real quick. So you can actually bend the hand inwards. It's on the hinge, all right, that much outwards. So you can get a very nice range. And what was nice by them making that being rubber, it also looks flush and it looks nice, really nice, all right. Now moving to the abdomen, I'm going to go ahead and display that functionality on the small figure, because this one can definitely do it, but I don't want to damage nothing. But the abdomen has 3 joints in it. All right. Now, the 3 joints that you get in the abdomen, which is just amazing, you're going to get a small crunch at the top. Now, the one on the Medicom figure can fully bend in, all right? Where on this figure, it can't really move because the plastic is sealed right where the black, where the core will sit at. Where this one can actually move because the core and the armor is separate like it should be. So that is a plus on the Medicom version. But as for the waist, you can lean the second half pretty far in, right? But then I have even moved the waist half. So the waist half can even get you even further. Now, in order to get a little bit further in, is that you have to make sure you pay attention to this little green waist part. It's because on this, it hinders it. On that, it doesn't. So he can bend definitely more forward in. All right. So, like I said, you get 3 joints on the waist, which you can definitely get some nice sinister looks or very, very nice, like leaning over or anything. Because I was posing them at home and it was no problem. So that's a plus. And that's definitely on, I would say, if you got any Medicom figures or even Hot Toys figures or even 3A figures, it's not a ball joint on the waist. It's more so of it's just a different contraption. I would say more of a hinge, if anything. It seems more of a hinge. It has ball joint functionality, but it's not a ball joint. So I just leave it up to the people to actually get it to kind of understand where I'm coming from. At the pelvis, you're going to get the standard Medicom style. And this one, I think, may have a small alternate function. I can't really tell because it's the suit that covers the functionality. But most Medicom figures have hinge, and I think hinge going outward. So you can do out, forward and back, and twist at the pelvis. That's what this can do. So he still has that great motion, and I also think you can kind of shift his hips left and right as well, like under there. Well, sorry, above the pelvis. So you get that functionality. Then when you go down to the knees, now the knees is completely Medicom. They get something a little bit different from the small figure. Now, clearly, this figure has double joint knees. So his leg can do the whole 180 all the way up. All right, which is extremely nice. The difference is, though, that Medicom added, if you look on, I'll go ahead and bring this. If you look on this figure, you see how this plastic shin guard is just like sits directly up? What Medicom did to make sure that you can do poses and that shin guard doesn't get in the way, which is like straight amazing, is very smart and innovative. So I'm going to bend the leg a little bit. So if you look at this leg over here, all right, look at this. This actually comes out. It can get closer to the knee. That way, if you have him kneeling down, you won't scratch up nothing. And it won't get in the way. So that's definitely a Medicom functionality. All right. Now, going on to the feet. The feet is designed a whole lot like the, sorry, brain fart. Is a whole lot like the Shogoken figures, where you have a hinge and a toe. Now, the hinge and the toe on this is just immaculate. Like, it goes up there. You have a very nice range. The actual ankle guards are like soft rubber, so this is definitely different. But out of both of them, even the small one doesn't have a soft rubber such as this. So they made sure they didn't want nothing to get in the way at all. You have a hinge going from the ankle, all right? And like I said, it definitely has a nice range. And then you have a hinge going side to side on the actual ankle, which you can pivot. All right. So if you're a huge fan, like I said, I would definitely say pick it up. It's worth the money. I'm not gonna lie though, people on eBay is like ass raping. So I don't know if you really want to pay the type of price that they're trying to make people pay, because it's utter ridiculous. They charging people about $350 to $400. Is it worth $350 to $400? I'm going to be realistic about that. No, I will not pay $350 to $400 for this toy. Not saying that this toy is not great, but that's a whole lot of money compared to what it really retail for. Like, this figure only retails for, I think, $200. So you're literally paying almost $150 to $200 more, because they're charging even almost to $400. Some people even more ridiculous than that. So yeah, I per se wouldn't necessarily say it's worth it. But like I said, just being honest, like I said, I extremely like the figure, but it's kind of overkill if they're trying to make you pay that much, unless you're just a huge fan and you just feel like you got to get it. If you got to get it, it's not going to be a letdown. You don't have to worry about nothing tearing up, because once again, I say one thing, if you haven't seen my Gantz review, if something get damaged on your figure, Medicom is not douchebags. They will actually help you. When something broke on my figure, I sent them a message. They responded back. Now, not only they responded back, I fucking put a translation from off of Google Translate in Japanese, sent the message to them. They answered me back in English. Fucking great. And they took care of me. They shipped the part that got broke on me less than 3 days. So, that being said, I'm extremely happy with what I got, and I know for a fact that if something happens, I have a company that's going to take care of their customer. So, once again, thank you for viewing. Hope you enjoyed the review. Yes, the review was long as shit. Sorry. Don't shoot me for it. I'll break it down in 2 pieces if you like, or I might just make it one long ass piece and you can just fast forward through the shit you don't want to hear. Whatever you want to do. So, thank you again. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please come back and check out my Batman The Dark Knight Returns figure toy review. I will be posting that up. And happy collecting, everyone. Have a great one.